What's with these old guys and hating on the current state of baseball? So Gary Sheffield came out and said that he doesn't even watch baseball anymore, which I guess doesn't really mean anything because MLB just set a record for the most amount of viewers in the first few weeks of a season. So, yeah. That about sums it up. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day, so do not be afraid to hit that subscribe button. I want to talk about Yasiel Puig real quick because he has essentially been banned from Major League Baseball. Of course, we're going to talk about the Angels game and Shohei Ohtani pitching and Corbin Burnes making history, and the Yankees finally got a W, but Yasiel Puig is signing with a Mexican team, and I can't help but think, is there not one team in Major League Baseball that couldn't use a 750 to 800 OPS guy with a really good arm in the outfield? I know that he has issues off the field, but he has come out and said that that's not true. So maybe MLB is just saying, hey, we're going to wait until it pans out and that you're proven innocent or vice versa. And yeah, Yasiel Puig is pretty much done in Major League Baseball, which is wild to say. So one more quick note before we get into the games from yesterday. Juan Soto, unfortunately, I don't know how many superstars are going to get injured this year. It's really unfortunate, but Juan Soto has been put on the injured list. But then on the flip side, Mookie Betts, the x-rays came back. There is no structural damage in his forearm after getting hit in the arm. So luckily for him, he's going to be okay. But the Nationals, they need Juan Soto, and yeah, that's not good. Also, I completely forgot to mention that Alex Bregman is back in that Astros lineup. I can't wait for Yordan Alvarez to get back as well because the Astros offense to begin the season was electric. So we're going to need that offense back and healthy ASAP. Even though a lot of you guys don't like the Astros, they're still a lot of fun to watch. Now, speaking of the Astros, they lost to the Rockies 6-2 yesterday. CJ Cron was the entire Rockies offense, driving in 5 RBIs as John Gray was able to work around 4 different walks. He goes 6 2/3 innings, 1 earned run, and the Astros now sit in last place. They've been in last place, but they're still in last place in that division. Just, is this karma or is this just their superstar players are injured? Let me know. The Atlanta Braves were afraid of the mustache. We'll talk about that in just a second. The Yankees finally get a W. Charlie Morton and Jameson Taillon, they were both fantastic in their starts yesterday. They only allow 1 earned run apiece. Like I mentioned, the Braves bullpen, they were afraid of the stash. They turned into a men's softball league. They just could not locate. They give up 2 earned runs on a wild pitch and a walk. That walk came against Mike Ford. And if you guys haven't seen Mike Ford over the last few years or even recently, his mustache is terrifying. So yeah, of course, the Braves were going to lose because you can't pitch to that. So who knows, maybe Aaron Boone yelling at the Yankees and then Brian Cashman coming out in a press conference saying that better days are ahead are going to motivate New York. I mean, I don't know. It's a very weird game yesterday. So earlier in the video, we talked about how John Gray was able to work around 4 different walks and actually dominate the Houston Astros. Well, I can say the same thing about Shohei Ohtani, but he was even worse. 6 walks. He was able to work around those 6 walks. He goes 4 innings, only allowed 1 earned run. So far on the season, he has 8 2/3 innings, only allowed 1 single run. He has 14 strikeouts, but he has 11 walks in less than 9 innings. That is definitely not going to cut it moving forward. At this point, I would just say he's getting lucky by not allowing these runs to score. So the Angels get 2 in the first few innings, and then they erupt for 4 more off 3 home runs from Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and Kurt Suzuki. So they now sit a half game back of both the Mariners and the A's. The Mariners lost. The A's are on a 10-game winning streak, but we'll talk about them in a second because, wow, they are playing out of this world. Yesterday, the Cubs and the Mets swapped places because we've talked about all year how the Cubs are horrible with runners in scoring position, but the Mets yesterday, I'm not even being dramatic, I think they went 0 for 260 with runners in scoring position. Jake Arrieta has been very solid for the Cubs. He's back to being kind of not prime Jake Arrieta, but he has a 2.86 ERA in 22 innings pitched, and also Craig Kimbrell looks insane again. He has been fantastic. So the Cubs escape with a 3-1 victory over the Mets. Now I do have to point out that Francisco Lindor has not been great. I believe he has a 171 batting average of 52 OPS plus. I fully expect him to put up, mid MVP numbers by the end of the season, but dating back to September of 2019, Francisco Lindor has an OPS below 100. That is below the league average. He has been a below average hitter over the last year and a half. Now, I'm not trying to be a salty Cleveland fan because a lot of Mets fans are saying, hey, Fuzzy, you were kind of onto something. You warned us that he's been in a slump for the last year, but I will say Jose Ramirez over the course of a full calendar season was horrible, and now he's putting up MVP numbers. So you're going to have superstar players going in slumps from time to time. Lindor's in it right now. Yelich was in it. So it happens. He's going to be fine. Zach Plesac is basically Nolan Ryan versus anyone in baseball aside from the Chicago White Sox. And back-to-back starts against Chicago, he gives up 6 earned runs. Tim Anderson somehow makes hitting baseballs look easy, because we all know hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in all sports. But not to Tim Anderson. He gets up and it's not supposed to look that easy. I'm super jealous of him. Jose Abreu, Yohan Moncada, and Yasmani Grandal, they all go off as they put the game out of reach. Now, Cleveland did try to make the comeback, but I mean, come on, man. Sometimes Cleveland doesn't even look like they're trying. The A's are on a 10-game winning streak, and both of the games that they won yesterday against the Twins, they shut them out. Both games of that doubleheader, and they beat the Twins using lefties only. So in game number 1, you have Mitch Moreland, a lefty, Matt Olson, a lefty. They drive in 7 RBIs, and then Sean Manaea throws a complete game, 7 innings, 0 earned runs, and 7 strikeouts. So 3 for 3 in lefties. Going to game number 2, they shut out the Twins yet again. Seth Brown, a lefty, drives in the only RBI of the game as Jesus Luzardo goes 5 2/3 innings, does not allow a single earned run. So the A's win their 9th and 10th game in a row, essentially only using lefties. So maybe that's the formula to beat the Twins. They're just bad against lefties. Hey, but can we get a quick round of applause for the Oakland A's? I honestly thought that they were going to finish in 3rd or 4th place in that division, because they started off 0-6. I was just mystified, dumbfounded by how bad they were, because their team is not that bad, but they were playing like the worst team in baseball, and now they're in 1st place in the American League West, tied with the Seattle Mariners, as the Mariners were shut out. We had so many shutouts again yesterday. Pitchers have been on fire lately. The Dodgers, led by Julio Urias, more lefties, pretty much the exact same game as game number 2. The Dodgers win 1-0 over the Mariners. A lefty, Corey Seager, drove in the only RBI of the game in the 3rd inning, and then Julio Urias goes 7 innings, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, and 11 strikeouts. So with that Mariners loss, they are now tied with the A's, because again, the A's are on a 10-game winning streak. Wow, I don't even know what to make of that division, because we talked about the Angels. They won yesterday, so they're a half game back. The Astros are about to have their superstars in that lineup again, so honestly, I can't pinpoint one single team that is going to run away with this division. I feel like it's going to be close the rest of the year. Major League Baseball history was made yesterday. I wish I would have watched this live, but I was busy streaming. If you guys have not followed me, it's at Fuzzy from YT over on Twitch. We pretty much are live every single day. McKinney starts the offense off with a home run, and then Travis Shaw drives in his 16th RBI of the year. Corbin Burnes was the main story from yesterday, as he officially makes Major League Baseball history. These stats I can't even comprehend. Even as a baseball fan that likes to dream and all this different stuff, this is not supposed to happen. He has 40 strikeouts without a single walk. That is an MLB record. Adam Wainwright previously held the record with 35 strikeouts without a walk. I mean, dude, Corbin Burnes could honestly go 50, 60 strikeouts without a walk. He gets some more help from McKinney with an amazing game set. I don't know if it was game saving. A great catch over in left field, as the Brewers are 7-3 in their last 10 games. Their starting pitchers have a combined 1.95 ERA. So with their offense popping off every now and then, just supporting that dominant staff, the Brewers, that might be their division to lose over the Cardinals, which is crazy to say, because I thought the Brewers were definitely a 2nd place team, but I very much underestimated that pitching staff. Corbin Burnes, 40 strikeouts in a row without a walk. MLB history. Like, that doesn't make sense. Matt Harvey, the former Dark Knight, is a winning pitcher, ladies and gentlemen. He is now a starter for the Baltimore Orioles. Luckily for him, the Orioles offense was able to have his back. Now the Marlins, just like we talked about Cleveland, they tried to make the comeback, but to no avail, as the Orioles pick up a 7-5 victory. Not really much to talk about from that game, honestly. Matt Harvey, winning pitcher, woohoo! Moving on over to the San Francisco Giants versus the Phillies. Please, Buster Posey, keep this up. He hits 2 home runs yesterday. Tommy La Stella, Alex Dickerson, and Wilmer Flores, they drive in 10 runs in the last 4 innings. And I've been glowing about Connor Brogdon, and as soon as I do that, he gives up 6 earned runs. He completely blows up. He implodes. I gotta stop talking about people in general. Just let them have good days, let them have bad days, and stop putting them on a pedestal, because as soon as I do that, they kind of fall off. But yes, please, Buster Posey, keep this up. I need him in the Hall of Fame more than anything, because he is really like the last superstar that is playing at a really good level at this point in his career. From my younger days, I mean, Evan Longoria is decent. Albert Pujols is kind of washed up. Josh Hamilton's gone. Cliff Lee's gone. Grady Sizemore's gone. So a lot of, prime superstar players from the past, we don't really have him anymore. Also, Yadier Molina on fire to start 2021. So good for Posey, good for Yadier, and also good for Longoria, starting off hot as well. well. Patrick Corbin finally turned in a quality start after giving up 16 earned runs in his first 2 starts of the year. Josh Bell homers. Adam Wainwright was able to turn back the clock with 7 innings, 1 earned run, and 10 strikeouts. So on the same day that his record gets broken by Corbin Burnes, he turns in an electric start. Unfortunately, though, the Cardinals' best reliever, Giovanni Gallegos, he gets handed the L as the Nationals improve to 6-9 on the year. Nice. We had a battle of the American League East, the Red Sox versus the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette hits a ball that has still not landed yet. I did actually tag Elon Musk on this home run post over on Twitter because I heard that he likes launching things into space. So Bo Bichette launching a baseball to space only makes sense that I tag Elon Musk. But that was not enough, as the Red Sox, with the help of Xander Bogaerts, he drives in 3 RBIs. I haven't talked about Xander Bogaerts once this year, so you really love to see him driving in 3 RBIs. And then Bobby Dahlback with a much needed extra base hit, a triple. Erod, he does the job as the bullpen takes care of the rest. The Red Sox escape with a 4-2 victory, and then the final game, because the Diamondbacks versus Reds game was suspended, the Rays versus the Royals. Carlos Santana, his 4th straight multi-hit game, but that's not enough to beat the Tampa Bay Rays. Games like that give me anxiety because the Rays scored 14, the Royals scored 7. YouTube only allows you to post so much of MLB content before they hit you with a copyright strike, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to show you guys, but the Rays had 5 different hitters with 2+ RBIs. Manuel Margot and I always botch his last name. Tsugo, they combined for 6 RBIs as the Rays get their 5th straight victory in a row. So they are the 2nd hottest team in baseball, right behind the A's. But that does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you did enjoy. We had history, we had web gems, we had home runs, we had a lot of fun stuff, and also Gary Sheffield. If you don't want to watch baseball, that's fine because we're all watching. We're having a fantastic time. Maybe the strikeouts do have to come down. Maybe he has a point in that regard, but to not watch baseball entirely, that's just very close-minded. But thank you all so much for watching, and enjoy this day in MLB history.
Here comes the 2-2. In the air, this should do it. Jason Hayward makes a catch. It's a no-hitter. Jake Arrieta has done it again.
That was fun.